I'm Gordon Nykhorst, and on behalf of my co-founders, Sarah Louise, also known as SL, Ian and Ben, we are so glad that you've taken time tonight to join us as we celebrate this really exciting occasion. And I can see that some things are happening on the chat line already, but we were originally hoping, of course, to do this as a real in-person event, but perhaps because it is a virtual event, some people are able to join us that otherwise wouldn't be there. So if you want to go to the chat line and tell us where you're coming in from, we can read a few of those out and see, maybe we can give an award for the people that have come the furthest. What do we have? So we have some people from Hollywood, that's in Northern Ireland. And we got some from West Dorset, fantastic. San Antonio, Texas. All right. Oxford, New York City, hoo-ah. The Isle of Wight, people from Cardiff. Wow, this is amazing. Covent Garden, woo! No prizes for London. Oh, well, next time we'll do it in person. We'll get everybody in London to come back too. So, but Rotterdam, fantastic, and Scotland, Marlow. Great to see everybody joining us. So, so thanks again. Also, is anybody wearing their Impact Central colors? Have you guys gone to the website? Well, it wouldn't be a party if we didn't have some cocktails. So it's still not too late to fill your glass. Maybe you have a favorite drink you'd like to bring along, but if none are coming to mind, you can check back on your email, and our multi-talented co-founder, SL, has provided some favorite recipes of hers. I share SL's joy in drinking margaritas, so I have my margarita. So I'm going to try your recipe here, SL. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, smooth. It's got a nice kick. So hopefully everybody's relaxing, grabbing a hold of their drink. What is everybody else out there drinking? Let's see what we got. Do we have any other margarita drinkers out there? Anybody drinking, what do we have? We got some vanilla rooibos tea. Ooh, some Bushmills, a gin martini. There we go. It's definitely martini o'clock. And it's also beer o'clock. We got some Tap Social IPA. Cider sangria with Oxford Farmhouse cider. Anybody want to push a brand on us? Tell us something specific. You got 50 people who are going to buy it next time. A local brewski, some great South African red wine. Oh, fantastic. We got some New Ground coffee. Amazing. All right. Well, keep the glasses filled. We're going to have some opportunities to toast later. But I thought I'd take this moment to share some more details about what we have planned today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you a video that we've put together that we're really excited about, and we hope that you enjoy it also. And that's going to take us to about 5:15, where I'm going to have my co-founders, Ian, Ben, and SL, introduce themselves, and they're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing on Impact Central. Around 5:30, we're going to open it up for Q&A. So if you have some questions that come about, please get ready to write those down and send those in to us. We'll give some more details on that a little later. And I should note that we are recording this event, so if you don't want to be caught on that, perhaps you might want to turn off your webcam, although we'd love to see you. And then we promise also to end the Q&A by 5:45. So what is it that we are asking of you? Well, it's actually really simple. You are some of our greatest supporters, and what we're asking of you is if you could please spread the word about Impact Central. So we need the best possible entrepreneurs we can get to join us on our first cohort. And that first cohort is launching on September 15th, so not a lot of time. So please get out there, share the news about Impact Central. And I know some of you are saying, great, Gordon, I want to share the news. But what exactly is Impact Central? So very good question. Impact Central, we are an impact accelerator. So we work with entrepreneurs. We focus on entrepreneurs that are running for-profit businesses, but also have a very integrated social or environmental impact. but we're actually much more than a program. And in fact, to see the success and the change that we want to see, we actually know that we need to build a community. And you might say, why? Why do we need a community? Well, some of you that know me know that I'm a bit of a space guy, hopefully not spacey, but into space. And so I thought it'd be helpful to choose an analogy from Star Wars. So just to set the mood, I'll bring you into space. So over 9 movies, we watched the scrappy band of rebels go against the powerful Empire. And the vast majority of the Empire was also really unhappy, but they felt pretty powerless, and they kind of didn't know what to do, how to help the rebels. And this continued until finally, in the last movie, when the rebels are just about to be snuffed out, the galaxy wakes up, comes to the rescue, and we finally get the change that everybody's looking for, and it's a bright and happy future across all the planets in the galaxy. Well, we're for those rebels. What we want to do is help those people that are fighting on the front line and that have great ideas and just need more support to kind of make the change, make the world a more fair, a more equal place. And, sometimes for them, it seems like the odds are insurmountable and it's never going to happen. But we know if we can all get behind them as a community, as a bunch of people, that we can actually see the change that they're driving and we can make the world a better place. So now that I've kind of got us into movie mode, roll clip. What we're building is a community. And if we can achieve that, if the community grows and becomes effectively so huge that everybody feels like they're part of it, there could be an amazing change. It won't be just individuals trying to make small changes, but all of us together recognizing how we can help each other. I think everybody could come out so much better, and that would be amazing to see.
So the vision behind Impact Central is to work with founders of early stage businesses who not only want to build and scale really successful entities, but also want to have a major impact on the world around them, be that socially or be that environmentally.
And the difference with Impact Central is that we really focus on the founders. So it's not a one size fits all. Every founder is unique. Every startup has its own challenges. And we want to be able to understand those in a lot of detail so that we're able to tackle the right issues first.
My first conversation with founders, it seems like the topic that's always missing is funding. But when I kind of dig into that a little bit more with them, what that really identifies is that what they actually need is resources. So why are these resources not appearing? They think that they've identified precisely what they want to do, and if they just have the resources, they can make a real difference.
We've put together a program that is flexible, that is going to support founders having impact and business success, but can be delivered across a whole bunch of media, across a whole bunch of delivery mechanisms, and is there for the long term. So whilst the future is definitely uncertain, our commitment, our flexibility and our agility is really there to work with founders.
The awesome thing about the faculty at Impact Central is that they're not professors, they're actually captains of industry. Startups have the opportunity to learn directly from global experts from Fortune 500 companies, and they come along to share their expertise with founders because they really believe in what impact businesses are, and they really believe that they are the future.
This is a really serious business that we're focusing on, about driving growth, driving financial success, and having positive impact. Those are big challenges, right? But at the same time, it's really important to me, I know it's really important to our team at the core, that we're going to have a lot of fun doing this. We need to have fun alongside achieving great success.
From our experience, we really understand what it takes to convene the right blend of individuals, organisations together to get behind founders who have a bold vision and recognise the value of bringing people together. And through the programme that we've designed, we're really looking to accelerate the launch and the scaling of those ventures. We believe they can make a huge difference in this world. That's what we're really excited about.
I'm really excited about Impact Central because I want to change the world. The vision that I have is that we help hundreds of founders, and many of them go on to build big businesses that are going to change the way
business works with that's going to impact society. And it's really cool because ultimately their vision is my vision. I get to share that, and that's amazing.
Before I turn it over to my co-founders, I just want to answer one important question, which is, why an accelerator? And there's a screen, something that's going to come up. Here we go. Okay. So just briefly, the problem that we've identified, how really kind of bringing business and impact back together is, of course, a really big problem. And it's a big challenge. And we know that if we just did it kind of one venture at a time, that it would be very difficult to actually make a real change. So instead, we're trying to do a couple things. We're bringing together the best ventures that we can find, the best entrepreneurs who are really passionate about making change happen. And then we get the just amazing experts from industry, from all kinds of areas to come in and teach them and help them understand how to make their businesses and their impact more meaningful. And at the same time, bring in really experienced mentors who are going to come along and be on that journey with them and bring them success ultimately. And it's a 6-month program where the first 3 months we really focus on a lot of the kind of information and idea sharing. And in the second half, we really focus on taking that venture and driving it forward into getting funding and success. And with that, I want to turn it over to my co-founder, Ian Smart.
Hey everybody, and thanks Gordon, and good afternoon to everybody. Great to see so many old friends of mine have already joined the call this afternoon, and great to meet so many new people. I do hope you're enjoying your drink, and I certainly look forward to the time when we can all properly have a drink together at some stage. So yeah, as Gordon said, my name's Ian Smart, and I'm delighted to be one of the 4 co-founders of Impact Central. I reckon fate is something to be trusted in, and there's certainly a lot of fate in my participation in this. It was just before Christmas, actually, that I was arranging to meet up with Gordon in a little cafe just near Liverpool Street Station when we used to be able to go out and drink coffee together. And I hadn't seen Gordon for years, a couple of years, and I was bursting to tell him the news that I'd going to be moving on from where I was. I was previously a partner at Grant Thornton, and I was going to be moving on 31st of March this year. You might say, yeah, with hindsight, what fantastic timing, but anyway, there we are. It's proved pretty good, I think. And so we got our latte, I got a cup of tea, we sat down. I was ever so keen to tell Gordon that, 31st of March was the date for me to be going independent. And he started speaking, and he said to me, do you know what, Ian, I've decided to move on from where I am, and I'm going to be moving on from the 31st of March, 2020. And I just thought, well, this is a match made in heaven. We've been talking about many mutual interests before, and it just seemed that fate conspired to make sure we were able to team up this spring. And it's a great opportunity. I'm thrilled to have the chance to be involved in something that's really going to be making a huge, huge change. What I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking through were really some of the values that we're basing Impact Central around. How we had an opportunity really early on, I guess, to shape what we're doing around our 5 core values. And I guess for those of you, and many of you I recognize who have worked within organizations before, I guess we've all been through kind of value shaping, value forming processes up until now. And what I've really enjoyed about the early weeks and months of working with my co-founders on Impact Central is that we could start with an absolutely clean sheet of paper, right? We could determine what we wanted our business to be, what we wanted it to represent, and who we wanted to involve in our community. And so we've been able to set right from the get-go 5 values that we're going to hold really close to everything that we're trying to do in our mission, in our objectives, really try to be true to these values right the way through. And hopefully a number of them, if not all of them, should resonate with you this afternoon. First one, and we're calling our 5 C's. They all begin with the letter C. The first one at the top there, challenge. And we regard the larger the impact, the bigger the challenge. So we're looking to work with founders who really want to make significant impact, either societally or environmentally, and want to take responsibility for doing that, and recognize that there will be some difficult challenges and some difficult choices to make as they go about that process. And we're looking for founders who really want to take on that challenge. We want to make sure that we put caring at the core of our values. Caring means doing the right thing even when it might not seem convenient. So we want to stand alongside our ventures in everything they're doing. We recognize we're making mistakes ourselves. I'm sure hopefully we're getting a bit more right than we're getting wrong, but founders will be making mistakes. We'll be standing alongside them to show how they can succeed, how they can overcome challenges, and how they can deal with difficulties. That's the caring side of our values. We're looking for creativity. We know that collectively we can't solve problems with the same thinking that we use that has created the problems we see around us. So we're looking to encourage bold new approaches. And fundamental to what we're trying to do is that impact and business don't have to be in opposition. We've really put it at the core, at the heart of everything we're trying to achieve, that profits and purpose, profits and purpose can go together. We want to show courage, and we want venture founders who are going to be showing courage to change the world. So that will mean being patient, that will mean being resilient, never giving up, and that will mean at all times looking to innovate and to develop new practices. And we will be standing alongside those founders, helping them with that courage, supporting them, and directing them to ultimate success. And lastly, community, last of our 5 key values. Great communities give more than they receive, and they're measured by their diversity and inclusion. And that starts this afternoon. This afternoon, we're opening up to our great friends and supporters in starting to build that community. And I really, really hope that you want to become part of what we're trying to do. And our community built around a mentor network, around a fellows program, around supportive investors, and around our impact partners. Our community is definitely going to have stamped right through it, diversity and inclusion. We want to get the best, most diverse and most inclusive approach that we possibly can to working with founders who are going to achieve both profits and purpose. So with that, I'd like to hand over to my 3rd co-founder, who is Ben Nottingham. Ben, over to you.
Great, thanks Ian, and let me just extend my welcome to everybody on the call. Thank you so much for joining us for this launch party. It's really exciting for all of us to have got to this stage, and I know it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my co-founders that you've all joined us for this, and hopefully continue to be with us on this journey. Just by way of a quick introduction to myself, so I've spent the last kind of decade plus working in industry, initially as a management consultant for a company called PwC, or PricewaterhouseCoopers, which I know Ian in particular will know that name. So it's particularly nice to think that whilst over the past few years, Ian and myself have been competitors and rivals, Ian, it's great that we're now on the same side of the table and working together on Impact Central. I've been really fortunate over the past 5 years to have had an opportunity to work with a lot of entrepreneurs of startups and scale-ups. So one of the things which I've had the privilege to be involved with, the privilege to lead, has been setting up a corporate accelerator program at PwC, which we called PwC Scale. Started it as a half-baked idea several years ago, and since then it's gone on to work with over 400 startups, and they've gone on to raise over $1 billion in equity. Amazing journey, learned a huge amount, and really kind of looking to bring that into Impact Central. I've also had the good fortune of being a mentor on a number of social impact accelerator programs and networks, which is where I was fortunate to meet with Gordon and with SL. And thirdly, I guess my kind of the third hat that I wear here is I also have been a founder as well, set up a number of years ago a scrappy little artisan coffee business, which was amazing experience, amazing journey. But essentially it's got me to a point where, throughout those experiences, I've learned a huge amount about what it takes to actually develop a founding team, what it takes to design, build, test, and grow scalable businesses. And I'm absolutely convinced that profit and purpose don't need to be opposites. I hear it a lot, and I just fundamentally disagree with that. And I guess through a lot of my experiences, I've seen the power that can happen. I've seen the potential that can be unlocked when you find those individuals who have that bold vision, who really care deeply about the problem that they're trying to solve, and you just kind of construct that opportunity to bring the right people and the right kind of tools and support around them. So that's really the starting point for the Accelerator, the program part of Impact Central, which is just one of a number of aspects to what we're building collectively. So cue, I think, another slide. Excellent, smoothly done, Mark. Thanks for that. So this is really high level. It's just calling out on this slide some of the components which we've designed into the program, which, as Gordon said, kicks off on the 15th of September. I'll give everybody an opportunity just to kind of scan through this, but there's really two things that I want to just call out, two things which for me are really important and define the Accelerator program of Impact Central. The first is, as you'll see in the kind of hexagon, I guess it is, which is almost in the middle of this page, which is at the center of what we're doing is the founder, as SL said. So we recognize that every founder is different, every business is different. So we really design this around their particular needs. And throughout the course of this 6-month program, which we've designed, we're really looking to do three key things. And the firstly is to develop mission-driven entrepreneurs and founding teams. So we're bringing together individuals, faculty, staff, mentors, guides, and particular opportunities to really kind of work with the individuals or work with the founding teams to help them to develop into high-performing teams and to help them to crystallize their kind of vision for a better future. Secondly, we're looking to really kind of dig deep in terms of understanding the mechanics of the business that they're trying to create and making sure that we're taking every opportunity to help those individuals to design scalable and commercially viable business models that really address a market need. And thirdly, through the program, we're making sure that we're giving founders an opportunity to access growth resources, from funding right through to building their own network of individuals, network of mentors and advisors who can continue to work with them on their journey. So that's one key component of the program. The second thing which I want to call out is you'll see that there's on the right hand side lots of different roles, lots of different skills and experiences and capabilities which we need to try and form around the founders on this cohort. And that's really where you all come in on this call. As Gordon said at the start, there's an ask, and we're so grateful that you've given up your time to be with us tonight. And we would just love to continue to connect with you, after the cocktails have been consumed tonight, and really kind of do this as a collective force and not just try and do it as the four of us. So I'm just going to pause there. Would love to chat more over the coming days and weeks with you on the program. But I'm going to right now hand over to my co-founder, SL.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Sarah Louise. I go by SL. I've worked with Gordon for the past 1.5 years, and it was an absolute no-brainer to join him as he was starting Impact Central. My background is comms, marketing, and social, and I've built and shaped lots of online and offline communities over the years. I've mainly worked across FTSE 100 companies, as well as being involved in communities outside of my working life. And I've set up a charity, a social enterprise, and I've been involved in a small scrappy startup as well. Many of the movements that I've been involved in shaping have tackled deeply entrenched social issues, like the ones that we'll be working on at Impact Central. And I think building community really just means bringing people together that share common purpose. And what's better than improving the betterment of others? Who doesn't want to be involved in that? And part of my role at Impact Central will be to gather and build this community and create strong, lasting partnerships with other communities and organisations. Try saying community with a Northern Irish accent, it's pretty hard. We're building something that's much bigger than the four of us. And that's pretty motivating and really exciting. We're building a community of businesses that will have positive legacy on both people and the planet. I think we tend to see our true colours during times of deep adversity. And one of the many positive things that's come out of the past few months has been the wave of community spirit that's leapt into action on so many levels. I'm sure you've seen and experienced that in your own lives too. Life has been so much simpler with with much less distractions. And I think it's given us the opportunity to slow down and focus on what's really, really important. In many ways, we've been reminded that community really matters, and it actually does have the power to change things. One of my own personal highlights from lockdown has been bringing our neighbourhood together. It started really small, but it's continued to build and grow. And that's what we're excited about doing at Impact Central. And one of the beautiful things about community is that it builds legacy. And we all want to feel that we've contributed to something that's much bigger than ourselves. That's what really drives me and the work that I will get to do at Impact Central. And that's where you guys come in. We consider you a massive part of our community. And in order for that community to grow, we would love you to help us spread the word on what we're doing. And we know that you come from lots of different backgrounds and walks of life. And I think the best communities are rich because of their diversity. So we want to ensure that founders, faculty, and mentors that help this community grow reflect that as well. As the saying goes, you can't be what you can't see. We look forward to leading in that way as we build out our own team too. We know that it will take time. We know that we're going to have to be patient. We know that we will get it wrong at times, but we want to create an environment where every founder feels at home so that they can truly thrive. And I think feeling at home in any community is a rare and beautiful gift. And it's more than just a feeling. It's about being seen and understood so that from that place, you can be stretched to press deeper into your purpose. At Impact Central, we'll be encouraging founders to do just that. And that's also where you guys come in. You are part of our community. And there are 3 simple things that we would love your help with. First of all, we'd love you to join us. So if you go to the website, you can sign up to our newsletter to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. Secondly, we'd love you to help to connect us with others. Is there anybody in your network who might be interested in what we're doing at Impact Central? They could be an impact business that wants to scale. As we've already said this evening, our first cohort starts on the 15th of September. And to have a thriving cohort, we need impact businesses to join us. It could also be someone who'd be a brilliant part of our faculty, or someone who would be an awesome mentor to an impact startup, or it could be all 3. So why not link us up via email so that we can make some magic happen? And to do that, you can simply introduce us via hello@impactcentral.co.uk. And finally, as we've just lodged, we'd love you to follow us on our socials. So we're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, and everything is at Impact Central UK. Don't worry, I'll follow up with all of these details via email, including the program information that you've seen already. We're so excited about the work that we get to do. It's such a privilege to be able to do purposeful work, but it's going to be hard. And we're not afraid of hard work, but we just need our community to help us get there. We will continue to provide you with more information around what we're all about. And we're going to be running a number of webinars with our faculty starting on Thursday, the 30th of July. There have been many challenges that have been laid bare by COVID, and we're going to be focusing on how we can build back better and how that starts with all of us. We'll be particularly focusing on leadership in adversity. We're delighted to start that series with Steve Cockram from Giant Worldwide. Gordon, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. Thanks, SL. As SL just said, we're going to be doing a webinar series, and we're so excited to have a great friend, Steve Cockram, who is, both Steve and Giant are just massive supporters of Impact and what we're doing at Impact Central. And we're so happy that we can call them friends and part of the faculty, and they're also part of our mentor network. So Steve is going to be with us doing a webinar where he's going to be talking about leadership and some of the things that teams can do better and how we can build back better, as SL was just saying. And so please mark that in your calendars. We will be sending you back some more information, but it's July 30th at 5 p.m. And it's going to be a really exciting discussion with Steve. And so please look out for that, and we hope to see you then. At this point, I'd like to open it up for Q&A. If you can put your questions into the chat, or SL, why don't you, how are we doing this with the Q&A?
Yeah, so if everyone can just submit their questions in the chat, and I will curate this little bit for us. We promise not to keep you on too long, but if anyone has any burning, okay, I've just got one through here. Someone's just slipped into the DMs, my dear. So is there a stipend to cover expenses?
You want me to answer that, SL?
Sure, please do.
Okay. Yeah, so we are planning on arranging for a stipend, a small amount, to support the entrepreneurs, because we know that there's some incidental expenses that people incur going on the program. So we're focused on that, but we do recognize that also, hopefully, because the first cohort will be virtual, that there will be less cost to the entrepreneurs, less incidental cost for attending.
Cool. I've also just got one for you, Ian. So what sort of mentors are we looking for?
Thanks, SL. We want the very best, I guess, is the easiest solution. What we aim to do is to put together a truly world-class panel of mentors, with the idea that whilst each founder will have a lead mentor connected to them, that the founders will be able to draw from a full range of skills and capabilities from our mentor team. And the other key elements, I guess, reflecting some of the points we've already made. We want mentors who are absolutely going to be supporting our values and supporting what we stand for. And in particular, mentors who reflect the diversity and inclusion that we're looking for in our businesses and in everything that we're creating. So yeah, people who have achieved success across all walks of life, who want to participate in this great objective that we've set, and really will want to work with us in driving terrific success, both in terms of impact and in terms of business performance.
I've just got a question about the selection process. So what does the selection process look like for the ventures that we work with? Who wants to take that one?
Yeah. I'll pick that one up myself. So I saw a few questions actually coming in. So the selection process is really simple. There'll be an online application, which will be an opportunity for some of the founders just to share a little bit about the problem that they're trying to solve, and their vision, and some of the work that they've already done to develop traction. And then simply it'll be a conversation with us as co-founders, and with a number of other people from the mentor network who we're going to invite to be part of that process, just to make sure it's the right fit. I also saw a couple of questions in terms of the kind of size of the ventures. So we're really looking for early stage ventures. So we're anticipating that means either single founders or teams of probably 3 or 4 people. Might be slightly larger. Most would probably have started within the last 2 years.
A couple of questions on how many places are available in each cohort, and let's see, how many businesses ideally do we want to have in the first cohort in September? That's one for you, maybe, Gordon.
Okay, so a great question. Our plan is to run cohorts of hopefully up to 8 to 10, so 10 max, because we want to make sure that everybody gets enough individual attention so that they can really get engaged with the faculty that are coming. And of course, they'll all have their own mentors that'll be working with them. But we also want the groups large enough, because what we found is that the kind of support that the founders give each other is actually critically important. And as Ben was showing on the graphic that he showed, the kind of that peer support of those other ventures that are also at the front line doing those hard things is something that can really be inspirational in keeping people working through some of those more difficult hours when things seem to be not going as well as you would hope.
Great. I've got another great question, probably also for you, Gordon. So will Impact Central be taking a share in the ventures as part of the process? And if so, what percentage?
Do you want to pick that up, Gordon, or I don't mind?
Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, fundamental to what we're trying to achieve is to make sure our interests are completely aligned with those of our founders. So we're not looking at taking fees or charges to our founders as they come onto our program. But yes, indeed, we would want to align our interest by taking a minority stake in each of those founders. We're looking at 5% as being the stake that we want to take. And that therefore commits us absolutely 100% to achieving the same outcome as they're looking for.
Great. I just got a joke one, which isn't very funny. Basically, when are we going to have some more Star Wars anecdotes?
I just saw a note there from a good friend of mine, Irene. Hi, Irene. Yeah, I was keen to invite you, and I know you did a great job in bringing some other representatives from university business schools. I think I saw Vincent had joined as well. Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for founders who've got a whole range of different backgrounds, and if those founders have come through university background, they're graduates of universities and have connections there, then absolutely we'd be more than happy to consider them to come onto the program. Should just also say we're looking at running 3 programs a year. The first, as we said, would start in September, and we're looking to kind of cascade them throughout the year thereafter. So if a different date fits in better with a university curriculum,
Oh, we just missed that last bit, and I think you froze slightly.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Right. We're open for business throughout the year. Was what I was trying to say.
Great.
Great.
Okay. Another question: will there be vertical categories that we will focus on with regards to the type of businesses, and then those that match the values, or will it be every type of business? Who wants to take that one?
Yeah, I can take that one, SL.
Yeah.
So we won't have a specific vertical focus in any of the cohorts. So whether that's sector or technology, that some accelerators tend to do. What we're really looking for is organizations that have impact at the core of their business model. And that impact, we've got a framework which looks at impact in terms of the social impact and the environmental impact. So really that's more important to us than there being a really specific vertical focus.
How are we going to ensure companies have a positive environmental impact? Who wants to?
I think that, and so for us to say that impact is, at our core, we obviously have to do a lot about that. And we have faculty members and people that are going to be working with us and with the ventures to really be specific about topics like the theories of change and other things that when you can look at the impact. So it's not, I think one of the confusing things about impact right now is that there's kind of maybe people, we're familiar with financial outcomes, but it's very hard to be descriptive and quantitative and measuring the actual impact outcomes. But we feel that that's absolutely critical. So part of the remit that our faculty has in working with the ventures is that it's not good enough just to say, oh, and we're doing a good thing. You actually have to be very descriptive as to what is it precisely that you're trying to do, and how can you go about that in the most efficient manner, and how can you make, for the resources that you're bringing to bear on that particular impact problem, what is the type of result that's coming out of it? And that really needs to be looked at hard, because we are in some ways needing resources to be apportioned in the right places, and we want to make sure that they do go in the right places and we get the best the best outcomes for those resources.
Yeah, and I think with that, we're very aware that there is a crisis between nature and climate, and that companies are going to be urged to do something about that by the government to move towards net zero carbon by 2045. So we want to be a part of that too. I think we've just got time for one last question, and it's around mentors. Is that something you can help us with, Ian?
Yeah, definitely. I saw that one there as well from Sarah. So to answer your question directly, how many do we have? Well, we haven't got enough yet. So that's one of the reasons for wanting to connect with you as our initial community, if you like. We're looking to build a panel, certainly for that first cohort, of maybe 20 mentors, so that we can absolutely get the right match between mentor and venture founders. What sort of skills? Right across the board, really. So from general commercial skills, from specific technical skills, might be in finance, might be in IT, might be in marketing, might be in strategy. And then I guess the whole experience of entrepreneurs, particularly in an impact environment, where people have been at the kind of the sharp end and seen what it is like. So absolutely nothing's excluded. I want to emphasize the point that we're looking to be as diverse as we can be on the mentor panel. So any great ideas, any suggestions, any volunteers? I saw one already had volunteered on the chat there. Then do just get in touch, and we'll definitely follow up really promptly.
Great. So Gordon, I'm just going to hand over to you for final remarks.
Right. Thank you. And so first of all, it comes to me to just say thank you again for joining us tonight and sharing in this great milestone of the launch of Impact Central. We're so thankful for your support. And please remember to do those 3 things that SL was talking about. We want you to spread the word, sign up for our newsletter, put us on your social channels, and please look out for some more communications from SL about all the things that'll be going on as we head into this first cohort. So, those will be coming out shortly. And once again, the next event being July 30th. So on behalf of my fantastic co-founders, SL, Ian, and Ben, we want to thank you again for joining us tonight in this momentous occasion. And let's go out and build that community. Thank you.